as far as your capital projects at the moment, and one thing I wanted to touch on with you guys a little bit is there's a lot of great things, like you said, that there's a lot of great work, a lot of demand with DRA. Are there one or two very, very special, near and dear to your heart capital projects that are happening right now that you're learning a lot from and you want people to know about through this conversation today?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Without getting into too much specifics on the areas of confidentiality, the one that's actually really close is the coarse particle recovery project that I was referring to. That's actually going into commissioning very soon. So this was a classic case of a novel concept that previously hasn't been put to the test in a commercial application. Came to DRA in early 2019. As a concept study. So we essentially took that, similar to what Pierre was talking about, as using the studies as a mechanism to de-risk the innovation, stress test the execution concept, put it into the right places of the flow sheet, make sure it actually works. So we had to do all of that engineering and study work beforehand. And this one, the reason why it resonates at least closely with me is this project is going into a place that has significant amount of water strain. So where there's a potential to reduce even 1 cubic meter worth of water, that has a significant impact on the ESG for the project and, quite frankly, to the surrounding communities. Now, what this technology allows this particular miner to do is to coarse, to be able to grind coarse and still not lose the recovery on the back end. And using this technology, they're now being able to, at least based on what we've seen on test work up to this point, are able to pick up incremental copper without having to grind coarse, without having to use a significant amount of water, without having to put strain on the existing grid that otherwise would be bringing power to the project. That has an all-rounded effect, which is very near and dear to me. So we're commissioning that in September, by end of August, September. I think we'd be able to talk more about that when the project is successfully commissioned and started up.
No, very cool. I mean, because there are the mining cycles where there's areas that are plentiful in resources to do it, and then there's some that you're in the middle of nowhere. How do you get this done? So this is very interesting on how do you do it with as little resources possible without the impact of, like you said, straining the communities around you. So as far as as we start wrapping things up here, as far as a closing remark, are there any particular people that you want that you're the most interested to working with, or how do they get a hold of you, and what are the projects that you like people to maybe get a hold of you guys and participate with you and collaborate on? What does that look like at DRA right now?
Go ahead, Pierre. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at we actually have quite a broad spectrum of clients, from the developers. I don't call them juniors. I call them developers, to the mid tiers, ones with 1 or 2 mines, to some of the large mining companies. So there's a place for all of them in our organization. Generally, we want to work with teams who want to roll up their sleeves and get the job done. Where we have all the world-class processes, tools, systems. But that's not what we're about. We're about, again, focusing on defining the project, doing the studies, getting the right work, and executing on the business case. And so our preference is to work with teams who want to work with us as partners on that, who are not just coming to us and say, here, engineer this, And,
right.
The engineer this clients, potential, we're not so interested in.
Right.
That's probably a best way to summarize that. Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess engineering, but a real good partnership on execution.
That's right.
To make sure the engineering goes the way it's supposed to. Right.
We want to be business partners. We want to help them with the success of their overall project, not just draw some drawings.
Very good.
And we're obviously on the lookout for good people that can think the same way and act the same way. So, the other groups that we are obviously trying to reach is potential future employees, starting all the way from students, that we want to bring on board as summer students and help them think differently about this industry.
Got to build the future.
That's right.
Got to build the future.
This business is all about people, and it'll never go away.
Right on.
Yeah.